Well, we were in choir together since my freshman year, her sophomore year. We were in choral union together, and then her junior year and my sophomore year, we were in university singers together. We would go on trips either nationally or we're kind of in the spring, we're going internationally to Ireland, but we went to New Orleans last spring and then Nashville this spring, and we would always room together when we went. It was us and two other girls usually, but we would always be together. She was one of those girls who was infectious. She definitely made her statement when she walked into her room. She was one of those girls that you immediately looked at when she walked in. She lit up from ear to ear. She always had something about her that people found so infectious. And you know, one of my favorite qualities about her was her laugh. We've all discussed it and decided, that was our favorite thing in singers, is she would sing a bad note and she'd look over and be like, "I'm so sorry, it was so bad." But regardless of how bad it was, it was beautiful. And that's who she was. She was that goofy girl who just thought everything was so funny. She was obviously very serious at times. She had her serious moments, but she was definitely one of those girls who wanted everyone to be happy, and she did her very best to make sure that happened. Obviously she loved to sing. That was her biggest thing. She loved children. She was involved with many music camps that had children there. She also loved animals. She had quite a few. She had a cat, I know for sure, and last year when we went on our New Orleans trip, she put a picture up on Twitter of her cat asking if it was like, "Mom, can I go?" The cat was just like peering up at her. But she loved children. She loved exercising. She was a very avid person who loved to work out. She would often get up at like 6 a.m. and go and do all these crazy workouts. That's not for me, but she was all about it. She was very involved, and she was very involved. So we kind of discussed it yesterday too. It's just she always lived for the Lord, and it was very evident that even with her call to children, she was definitely going to be an elementary music teacher, and that's where her heart was. And I think that even as a teacher, it's a ministry within itself. I don't think oftentimes people realize how big of a ministry it is. And so she found her life fulfillment in children, and she definitely made sure that when we did have our serious discussions, that she threw in her two cents about what she believed, and she was very adamant about it. She grew up in a very Christian home, and I think that's a testimony in itself too. And she was such a fun person to be around. She always had something positive to say, even if it was funny. She was going to end on a positive note. So